Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video in Maya 2019. Well, today we're going to be doing a subscriber request. A friend of mine is doing a model of a workshop and he needs a model of a compressor air hose, right? Here we go. This video has been made possible by Leidschendam, the creators of Keyshot. Okay everybody, so we're in Maya 2019. We're going to do a air compressor hose with fittings, and if you ever are going to do, let's say, a workshop setup or something like that, or workbench, it's likely that at some point you may want to model something like this, right? So let's get started. So we're going to start with one of the fittings. I'm not sure what it's called, but let's call it a fitting just for argument's sake, right? And we're going to do that by starting off with, let's do a simple polygon cylinder, right? So we're going to hit R, we're going to pull it up a little bit and scale it like this. That'd be about right. We don't need the top and the bottom for now, so we're going to just get rid of those faces, delete that. We're going to go back in here and we're going to add some edge loops. Now I'm just going to jump into this view right here. I'm going to open up my modeling toolkit, go to the Multicut tool, hold down shift, and let's see, we'll put one, let's say right there, and we'll just hold down shift and drag, and that's how you do that. And then we'll do one here, we'll do one here because I want kind of a pattern in it. And let's see, we'll do one more, let's say here. And then just to keep that shape, and actually we already got rid of the faces, we should be good. All right, so we're going to Q on a keyboard, and I'm going to go in here, and I want to address this area right here. That's where I want a pattern. So I'm going to go back in, and let's go in here, and I don't know, let's say 6 or so. Let's go in here. That will be about right, okay? So we're going to Q on our keyboard, we're going to go back in, we're going to select those faces, right click on a face, drag, select all of them, and then we're going to go in here to, under face, to poke, like this, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to right click on a vertex, and we're going to drag select the center vertices, and only those, right? So hold down shift for the next row, and just make sure you don't have the outer vertices selected like this, all right? So that's going okay so far. One more to go, like that. And what we're going to do next is we're going to hit R, and we're going to scale them out like this. And let's see how far we want that to be pushed out. Let's not go crazy on it, but just so we have a pattern, right? All right, that looks okay. Then we're going to go back in, we're going to go to edge, and let's see. What I'll do here is I'll go back to my Multicut tool, and we're going to hold down shift again, and I'm just going to put one in here. And we'll put one in, let's say here, and that one can go up a little bit. So I'm just gonna get rid of, select that, not get rid of it, select it, raise it up just a tiny bit, right? Then we're gonna go in and we're gonna select those faces and those faces, and we're gonna go in here, Control E to extrude. Let's do negative 0.05. which is fine. Yeah, looks okay. Then we're going to go to the top here where we're going to have something just as a detail. So select this guy, go to edit mesh and the bevel. Let's set the fraction to 0.1. We're going to go in here, we're going to select face and double click, Control E to extrude, negative 0.1. And let's tweak the offset a little bit. Now we want it to be, let's say 0.02. Let's have a look. 0.02, that would be all right. Okay, so then we're going to focus on the top here. And for that, we're going to go into Edge, double click, Control E to extrude, R to pull in to, I would say, about here. All right. And then we're going to hit G to repeat and W to push down. And we don't have to do a lot more than that. That's about right. Okay. And if you want, you can go in here to that top one, go to Edit Mesh and Bevel, and let's do 0.25. I think that's right. Now keep in mind that in the top of a fitting like this, you got bearings. So what we're going to do is we're going to put those in. I'm going to take a little sphere here. Let's hit W, pull that up. R to scale it in. Now we don't necessarily want it to be this subdivided, but then again, you know, it kind of depends on how strict you want things to be. So let's see what happens when we smooth this guy. That's pretty neat, right? Let's just do that. So we're going to go to Mesh and Smooth that guy out. Hit 1 to go back. So there you go. So we got that. This guy, we're going to go in here and let's see. We'll open up the attribute editor. We'll go in. Let's set this to, there he is. 2 10 by 10 should be more than enough. I'm going to jump to the top view here. What I'm going to do is hit W. First hit R, scale it down a bit. Hit W. We're going to move that over to, I'd say, about there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is hit the Insert key, like this. We're going to move that, and we're going to hold down X to snap it to the center of the grid. Hit the Insert key again. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, and snap it like this. And then we're going to hit Shift D and go all the way around until we're full circle, like this. Okay. Now we want these to be inside, of course, so I'm going to drag select them. I'm going to hit W and I'm going to push them inside, like this. And then we want a ring that goes in here. For that, we'll go into Create, Polygon Primitives, and we'll take a pipe. And let's pull that up. We can hit R, we're going to push that out a little bit. And actually what I'll do is I'll hit W, pull that up, just so we have a little bit more control here. We're going to right click and go to Face, drag select these and delete them. Then we're going to go in, we're going to push that in here. F to frame. Let's have a look from the top. And we're going to pull it out like this. Then we're going to go back in. We're going to right click the edge, double click on this one and pull that out like so. And then we're going to hit Control E and W to push down like this. That would be about right. And depending on what you want, you can pull that way down if you like, if you don't want to see any of that black going in right there. And then from this end, you can go in and double click on this. Oops, I hit the wrong button, my apologies. Control E, and we'll hit W and we'll push it down just slightly like that, right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to Edge, double click, Edit Mesh and Bevel. Let's do 0.25, which should be all right. So that's what that would look like, okay? Now for the other end here, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to drag select all of this. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. Let's go to Edit, Delete by Type and History. So we can hit E to rotate the whole thing, hit J and flip it on its side in 90 degrees. Let's go in here and we're going to tweak it a little bit, because now what we're going to do is we're going to take a new cylinder, hit W, pull that out, A to rotate, hold on J, flip it on its side, set subdivision level to 6. Okay, so that's what we got. We're going to hit R, we're going to push that in like so, and we're going to hit R and scale it up just a little bit, hit W, bring that in. Okay, we're gonna scale that a little bit more, like so. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna select this guy, we're gonna go to edge, double click, Control E to extrude, R to scale in. Hang on, this guy is still at preview smooth, looks like. Let's try that again. Control E, let's hit R. That's better. And then we got this guy, and what we're going to do here is we're going to hit W, we're going to pull that out. We're going to go in here, we're going to go into face, select these faces, Control E to extrude. Let's tweak the offset to about there, and then Control E to extrude and W to pull out, like that. We're going to go in here, we're going to hit W, we're going to bring that in, like so. And then we're going to go in and we're going to right click and go to edge, double click, shift, double click, edit mesh and bevel, 0.1. Looks about right. Now at this end you're going to have the hose coming out. So we're going to right click and go to object, select it, mesh and combine. Let's go to modify in center pivot and edit delete by type history and modify freeze transformations. So that's one guy. We're going to move this out and we're going to start on the second one, which is a bit more tricky-ish. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a polygon cylinder once again, and what we're going to do here is go to the top. We're going to right click at a face, drag select and delete. Then let's have a look at the height here. I'm going to hit Control A to open this up in object mode. And let's see, we're going to go in here and let's set height subdivision to, let me try that again, guys. Sorry, here we go. Let's set height subdivision to, let's do 6 for now, right? Okay, then we're going to go to the top, we're going to right click at a face, drag select, delete. So that's what we have. Okay, and then we're going to go in here, right click at a face, and we're going to double click. And I'm thinking what the best way is to do this. And I think what I'll do is I'll go to edge, I'll select these guys. Let's go to edit mesh and bevel. We'll make this 0.01. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to select the top edges only. Right? And we're going to hit R and we're going to kind of flare that out like this. Okay, so that's a typical pattern you would see at the end there. Thing is though, I want the whole thing to be a bit taller, so we'll get this effect, which is even better actually. We need to tweak it a little bit, looks like. So we're gonna take this edge, a W, pull it up a little bit, that one. Okay, so that's a good shape. And let's see on the inside here, we're gonna double click on this, Control E, R to pull in like this, G to repeat, W to push down like this, and then we're gonna go in here to select these guys, go to edit mesh and bevel, which is a good end. And this needs to be somewhat fitting, right? So we're going to hit E, we're going to hit J to flip it around like this. We're going to hit W, move it over here and move it out. And let's just have a look. Scale wise, it's not too bad. Let's scale it up a little bit more. I'll hit 4 for wireframe mode. It's not perfectly aligned, but we get a good sense of what the size may be. Let's bring it back a little. And hit W. Okay, so we're going to go with this, right? Excuse me. All right, so not quite there yet. So what we need to do next is go in, take this edge. We're going to hit Control E to extrude, R to scale out to about there. G to repeat, W to pull out, which will give us something like this. All right. Then we're going to hit a G to repeat again, R to scale down. And let's do something like this. G to repeat again, W to pull out again. G to repeat again. G to repeat again, pull it out. G to repeat again, scale it up a little. G again, W to pull out. And then G again, R to scale in. And this time hit W and kind of slope that a little like this. Actually, that one needs to stay flat. Control E, R to scale in, almost there. And G to repeat, W to pull out, and that would be about it. Let's look at the overall length. Pretty good. We're going to Control E one more time, R to scale in, G to repeat, and W to push in. Now, probably we're not going to need all of this because we're going to have a hose on it, but I'm happy with that, right? So I'm going to hit W, we're going to pull this out here. Let's see if I hit 3 to preview smooth, you'll see it needs some edge loops. So we're going to go and put them in. Let's set that to single. Okay, so I want to hold this shape, this, that, and that, and that, and that. The insides there are okay. Just put edges where you think you want them to reinforce your model. And there are, of course, many ways you can do this. This is my preferred method. You can use, harden edges, you can crease, you can do all sorts of things. That's just my method, right? Okay, Q on the keyboard, let's go in here. 3 to preview smooth will give us this. Looking good. Let me see. Is that too smooth maybe? At this end, looks like. So we're going to hit 1 here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and double click on these guys. And we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Bevel 0.01. So now if we go back in and hit 3, you'll get a bit harder edge there. Hit 1 to go back. Let's go to Mesh and Smooth to actually smooth, right? Okay, so now that we have these two, we need to create the hose. Now, what I'm going to do for now is take these two and just hit H to hide them, because we're going to put them in place later. We're going to focus on the hose right now first, okay? So for that, we're going to go up to the modeling menu, of course. We're going to go to Create. Let's go to Polygon Primitives. And let's find a helix, this guy right here. Now, a couple of things we want to do here. First of all, let's see, the number of coils, let's try 30. And then we're going to drag up the height quite a bit. And let's see, the radius, 0.2. That would be about right. And we are going to smooth this guy. So let's see. Maybe the width, let's try 3. That looks a little bit better. That's going to be our starting point, and then we'll take a nice clean height. Let's do 30. Let's see, subdivision axis, maybe a bit high. Let's try 6. A close look. Yeah, that should be fine. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy, hit E to rotate, hold on J, and flip it on its side. Now, what you don't want is keep it like this. It's way too straightforward. You don't want it to look like that. It's used, so it's stretched, it's bent, it's curved, and so forth. So that's what we're going to focus on. What I do want, though, is to have a section here where the tube will come straight out. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take an area here. Let me just take one of these faces. All right. I'm just going to hit Shift period to increase that selection so I can kind of see where I want it to cut, and preferably somewhere at the bottom where it's kind of level. So I'm just hitting Shift and period to do that, which would be about there, right? So if we delete that, we can then go in, right click at the edge, double click, Control E to extrude, W to pull out, and let's just make an extension here. Let's hit 4, G to repeat, W to pull out, G and W, G and W. Let's have a look here. Looks like I'm dragging on something that's wrong. My apologies. Let's try that again. There you go. All right, hit G and W. Okay, so that's going to be one end. Let's jump to the other end here, and let's see where we're going to put that one. Different place. Let's go in here. Let's go in the face here, and we'll take this and double click on this. We'll hit Shift period to increase that selection. And delete that. And then from there, we're going to go in to edge, double click, Control E to extrude, and we're going to do this manually. And again, many ways to do this. One thing you could do is create a curve and kind of extend that. We're not going to do that. G to repeat, W to push down. And we're going to slightly start to rotate that like this. G to repeat, push down, move forward. And this is kind of finicky because you need to be somewhat precise with that. G to repeat and W to pull out. And again, rotate that a little bit. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take the whole thing, and I want it to be sitting on a grid, so I got a good reference of where I'm at, right? Okay, so we're here, we're going to take that, we're going to hit G to repeat, we're going to hit W to push down, move that forward, rotate it some more, maybe move it back just a little bit, G to repeat, W to push down again. And at this point, we're getting pretty close to hitting the floor. So it's going to have to be something like this. Let's just have a look here. Okay. So that's what we have. Let's see if there's anything we need to tweak. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take this guy, hit B for soft select, hit W, and slightly move that inward, just very slightly. Okay. All right. So let's say that's going to be our air hose. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go in here. As you can already see, I have B turned on, my soft select, and you can hold on B and left click and drag to make it bigger or smaller. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into, let's say, face mode, drag select an area in the middle here, and I'm just going to simply hit R and kind of pinch that together in certain areas and be very, very subtle about it. All right. And then what you want to do is drag this, hit W, very, very, very slightly lift that. The impacted area is too big, so I'm going to hold down B and bring it back a little. Especially in that area, you want to be very, very subtle. Okay, so I'm going to take this here, I'm going to hit E, and I'm going to, again, very slightly tilt it, and tilt it the other way here. You just want to make sure that it doesn't look too uniform, right? So you got some disruption there, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in, turn off B. Let's select it in object mode. Let's go in here to deform, nonlinear, and bend. Go into our bend handle, bend that like this, right? And now you have a very nice uniform bend. A little bit too uniform. So what we're going to do is we're going to tweak the low bound a little bit. Maybe something like this. High bound. Like that, right? We're going to select this guy. We're going to go to edit, delete by type in history to get rid of that. So this is kind of what we got. Now we don't have any ends here, so we can go in here. We're going to go to mesh and smooth, which will create the look of our actual hose. And now we can go in to display and show all and get these guys back, and these need to be scaled down, of course. And what I want to do is see if we can do this uniformly, so we don't have to be fiddly about how big this should be later on. That should be about right. I'm going to hit W and I'm going to bring that towards this guy. I have to frame it. Let's bring that up. Let's rotate that into place. Hit W, bring that in here. That's going to be about there, I would say. Right, and we're not quite done yet because normally you would have a transition piece. But first I want to scale this down a little bit, and as I'm doing that I'm going to use the other one as well because I want to have one overall size here. I think that's better. We're going to bring that in. Now we're in object orientation, so I'm going to double click here. We're going to in world, sorry, we're going to go to object. We're going to minimize that so we can bring it in like this. So that is pretty good. Okay, so that's that. And then what we can do at the end here is we can put in something to kind of make that transition. And usually there's some kind of hose section on top of that. And let's see, for that what we'll do is we'll take a, maybe we can use this guy actually. What we'll do here is we'll right click, go in here, and we'll take these faces, right? And I'm going to hit B for soft select, hold on B, kind of drag it back in. And I'm going to hit R to raise that out like this. That looks kind of neat, all right? And then we'll hit B to turn that off, and we'll go in here, and let's go into this section right here. And we'll hit Control E to extrude. We'll hit R to scale that out a little bit. And then, actually not scale it out. Let's do Control E again. We'll give it some thickness. 0.02 maybe. And then we'll tweak the offset. Let's do 0.1. Minus 0.1. Minus 0.01. And the question is, will I want to go in or out? Let's go out 0.01. Looks a little bit better. All right. So let's do that. And then we're going to do the same at the other end, and then we're going to smooth that out. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to take this guy in object mode. We're going to hit E to rotate this guy, hold on J and flip it around like so. Then we're going to jump to the top view, F to frame. Let's rotate that some more. And W, put that into place, or at least close to anyway. F to frame. Of course, the whole thing's backwards, so let's fix that. It's kind of hard to see from there. Let's hit W, kind of move it here. So we're getting towards where we need to be. Better. Okay, then we're going to go in here as before. We're going to go to face, click and shift double click, hold down B and shift and drag. And of course this is already quite thick and I don't want to make that any bigger, so maybe what I'll do here is just go in here, go into face, turn off B, Control E to extrude, 0.1, just to change that up a little bit, 0.01 on the offset, 0.03 maybe, 0.3, just to get some detail in there, right? So I think that's okay, and then what I want to do finally is do a color ID mask, so I can take this into a Keyshot and give it some color, right? So what I'm going to do here is go in, I'm going to give this a color, so assign new material. We'll do a simple Lambert, doesn't really matter that much. I'll make that red. Then we got this guy, and for the most part, or actually all of it can be the same material, so that's fine. I'm going to assign a new material. Let's go to Lambert. Let's go in and give that yellow. And maybe just to mix it up a little bit. Well, okay, it's fine. Then we're going to go in here. This can basically be the same material. So let's go with an existing material, which is this guy. We're going to direct select everything. Let's go to edit, delete by type history and go to file, export selection. And I'm going to save it out on my desktop. And I'm doing that on my other screen, but you know how to save a file, I assume, right? So I'm going to call this hose obj, export that. And then I'm going to go and open that up in Keyshot. Alright, we're in Keyshot. We're going to go to File and Import, and here's our hose, and let's just import that. There you go. Let's see what we need to do here. First of all, we're going to go to Materials, and let's go and look for metal, and we want, let's see what we want. We want brass, and let's bring that in. And let's go in here and change the backplate and the environment and so forth. So let's just do a white solid vignette for now. And I want to change my lighting, so I'm going to go to use basically my go-to, which is this. Then we're going to have a look at our material here, because it's a bit too shiny, right? So let's double click on this. Open that up. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not changing the roughness, I'm just checking this out. So let's tweak this roughness here a little bit. That looks a bit more realistic, right? And then for the hose here, we need some plastic material, maybe somewhat transparent would be cool. Maybe not, we'll see. So we have a cloudy plastic type deal. That looks kind of neat. I think that's perfect actually. So we're going to go in here and let's set that up for a render. That looks kind of neat. And let's find a good angle for this. Let's go in here. And I kind of want to see a nice angle of the whole thing. That'd be about right. Okay, so we're going to go into scene, we're going to select the whole thing, and let's have a look at the position. Snap to ground, which raises it up actually. So what I'm going to do is just bring that down a little bit. That looks better. And then we're going to go through our settings. So exposure looks okay, I would say. We're going to have a look at our lighting, what type we want, and we're just going to have a look at our shadows here. I think that looks okay. And I'm mainly looking at the shadows here, what I like best. Increase that shadow quality, increase the ray bounces a bit. And we're going to go to render and render tab. Let's call this hose render. Save it on my desktop. 1920 by 1080 is fine. Our options, max samples, well, almost anyway. There we go, and let's hit render. Well guys, there you have it. There's our finished render, and with some screenshots there. That concludes our video for this compressor hose. Hopefully you had some fun. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button so I can move along with more videos in the future, right? Well, thank you guys for watching as always, and see you guys next time. Bye. Well, thanks for watching, and before you go, please hit that MH button to subscribe, okay? See you guys next time. Bye.